Good morning, y'all. It's Steve here. Um, I just want to come on here to talk to y'all really quick. Um, I don't think I've ever told y'all this, but um, before before I started working at my current job, I used to be a mover, and let me tell y'all something. I used to well, scratch that. Hold on. The first few weeks, I enjoyed it, right? I enjoyed it, but after those first few weeks, I started to hate it. Now, when did I do this moving job? I did it like during the beginning of this year, 2024. Um, I started in January, mid-January, and I think probably like the second week of February, that's when I left. And you know, I have, you know, I have my 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 reasons why. Um, the first reason and the main reason is simply because I didn't get paid very well being a mover. Okay. Um, Now I worked at this moving company here in South Plainfield, New Jersey. I'm not gonna say the name of the company. Um, but working at that company, I didn't get paid well. Um, as a mover, I got paid 15 an hour plus tips. Now, depending on the move and depending on the customer, you know, it depends, man. Sometimes you get paid well, sometimes you don't. Um, Especially like with the customers, man. Especially like with the tips. Um, Depending on the customer, sometimes you'll get a good tip, or sometimes you'll get a decent tip, or you'll get a mediocre tip, or you get no tip at all. Pause. I don't know. That sounded very dirty. I don't know. Yeah, pause that. That sounded real dirty. But yeah, depending on the customer, you'll either get a tip or you get no tip. Pause. Now, and I will say too, man. I gotta say, man. Um, Helping older customers move is a total pain because they got all this unnecessary stuff. Like they got all this like these drawers and these nightstands and all of these antiques, and it's like, dang, man, like what, like why do you have all this stuff? Like I hated helping old people move. Like I really didn't like it. And here's what I will say, man. Like in in today's times, like the economy that we're currently living under right now, I would say, being a mover is not the way to go. Um, for me, I make a lot more working as a sanitation worker than I did as a mover. And now I don't make 15 an hour. I make 17 an hour now. So it's a $2 difference. So it does help a little bit, but not too much. Um, yeah, and another thing too, man. I was just, like the long distances, man. The distancing, like, cause like sometimes like the company that I work for, sometimes we would travel outside of New Jersey, or we would, travel from North Jersey, because the company that I used to work for is right here in like the northern part of New Jersey. We would sometimes go from the northern part of New Jersey down to the southern part of New Jersey sometimes, and like the trip be long as ever. It be long as hell. And yo, let me tell y'all something, man. Like you'll get bored. You'll get bored easily. You know. You know, I don't know, man, cause like the people that I worked with, man, like they didn't seem to have a problem with making 15 an hour plus tip. I'm like, man, are you crazy, man? Like, bro, like we ain't getting paid nothing. Like we not getting paid not a daggone thing, man. And these tips, man, they don't help either, man. I'm telling y'all, man, these tips don't help. Oh, drinking tea. Sorry about that. These tips don't help, man. Well, one day the tip is in your pocket, and the next day it's gone. It's like, well, dang. And you can't you can't you know being a mover making 15 an hour and making tips, like you can't you can't put nothing in your savings account, like not now in these times. Like you can't put money to the side, like working as a mover. So I was just fed up, more specifically fed up with the pay. Oh, and another thing too, because the company that I worked for, um, they're open 6 days a week. We're they're closed on Sundays, but they're open 6 days a week. And depending on how long the move is, you know, there have been times where, me and the crew, we've gotten back like late. Like sometimes it'd be like 9 o'clock, 10:30, or 11 o'clock, or 8:30, even 6 o'clock or 6:30. Like we would get back, and I had to, me, I had to work 6 days, like throughout those 6 days. So that job itself, it messed up my sleep pattern, because I had to get home, I had to shower, I had to go to bed, and I had to wake up early the next morning to get up, get dressed, and get to work. So yeah, it's not worth it, man. Being a mover, it's not worth it. I'm telling you right now, not worth it, bro. It ain't worth it financially. It ain't worth it mentally. Because it's gonna mess up your sleep pattern. And it's, you know. And I will say too, one of the coworkers that I work with, you know, he's a driver. I don't know if he still works there, but he's a driver, and like he told me straight up, like because the driver where I worked at, the drivers make 19 an hour, while the movers make 15 an hour. So the as a driver, you would make 19 an hour plus tip, but the movers will make 15 an hour plus tip. And the driver told me, he was like, 19 an hour ain't enough. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, it's not enough. You know, I can barely get by with 19 an hour. And I'm like, dang. So, and sometimes you're gonna deal with the rude customers. You're gonna deal with rude customers. Oh, and you know, box drop offs where you have to drop off boxes. Um, you know, now the company that I work for, they do this thing where they drop off boxes, you know, just to promote their moving company. Um, because you know, just so that you know people could you know see it, like in case if they want to move somewhere, like from one home to another home, you know they can you know call up the company and then they could tell them like, hey, can you help me come move my stuff? So I think it was like for like probably for like a marketing strategy, but yeah. Other than that, and I'm not hate. I didn't like doing box drop offs. I didn't like that either. Cause like it was so boring. Like, cause like all you do is like you like you build you like you assemble the empty box, right? You take the empty box, you put the poster on top of the empty box, and then like whenever you get to the person's house, you know you drop off that empty box with the poster on it, you know with the company's name, the phone number, you know, even like the slogan, like the email address, you know, all that. And I hated doing that too. But yo, I'm telling y'all, man, being a mover in this day and age, not worth it, man. It's gonna take a physical toll on you. It's gonna take a mental toll on you because, like I said, it's gonna mess up your sleep pattern. You know, because there's gonna be times where you're gonna come back to your job late at night, and then you know once you go home, you gotta shower, you gotta eat, and you gotta you know go to bed, and you gotta wake up early the next morning and do it all over again. And the one thing that I hated about this moving company is that you know every night like I had like before I even like went to bed, like I had to stay hydrated, I had to stretch. I mean I still do stretch, but I had to stay hydrated, I had to stretch. And in the mornings, like before we go do our moving, like before we go do our move, me and the crew we go to Wawa, and like me, I had to buy fruit, and I had to buy water and Gatorade for electrolytes, just to keep myself hydrated, you know, and like I was just like, man, like, is this ain't, I'm not feeling this. Not really feeling this. Because as if you're gonna be a mover, you gotta take really good care of yourself, man. Like, I mean, you gotta take really good care of yourself. Like, you gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stretch your body. You gotta eat fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Being a mover, it's a lot. You know. Now, do I regret leaving my moving job? No, I don't. But I will say I do miss the crew. I do miss the crew. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, being a mover is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now. This is a beautiful morning, man. Yeah, man. But yo, man, I'm about to get off of here. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. I'll be back later. All right, I'm out. I love y'all.